Okay, so I've been sick for the last few days. I'm recovering from that. Last night was pretty hellish by comparison to tonight. My eyes felt like they were on fire, and my nose was, it was nasty. It was bad. But basically, I'm sick, and I want to bitch about things, so this is probably going to end up very similar to the video in which I woke up and immediately made a video. I saw a post leading to a news article that was about police in Thailand laying down their vests and barricades in solidarity with protesters. I know a little bit about the issue in Thailand. I've done a bit of research on that. I'm not going to say I'm an authority on it or anything, because that would be ridiculous. I don't live there. I'm not personally involved with anything there. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert on any of this. I just have my own opinions about it. It's the issue that I bring up when I talk about U.S. involvement. Like, for instance, when we got involved in the whole Syria issue, typically I'll say something to the effect of, we get involved with Syria, we get involved with your Middle Eastern countries, but we don't get involved in Thailand. Why is that? Everywhere we go to war with, they always have something we want, and we claim that we're there for support, we're there to help out with their civil war, or we're there to stamp out unrest or whatever, but we don't get involved in Thailand, we don't get involved in the numerous places that have civil unrest. So I've done my research on this. I understand some of the issues that have gone on in Thailand, although once again, I'm not an expert on it. Now, what pissed me off so much about this article is that it talked about the police in Thailand laying down riot shields and helmets and weaponry in solidarity with the protesters, but it didn't talk about really which protesters or any of the issues that are going on in Thailand right now, because there are two main protesting factions that you could be a part of at this point. You could be a part of the PAD or the Yellow Shirts, or you could be in the UDD or the Red Shirts. The Red Shirts are in favor of the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who was a populist politician who was a part of the Thai Rak Thai party, and the Yellow Shirts are obviously against Thaksin Shinawatra. Now, when it comes to him, the former Prime Minister, things get a little fuzzy. Not all of the Red Shirts are in favor of him. I'm pretty sure all of the Yellow Shirts are against him, though. The thing is, the Yellow Shirts are royalists. They are kind of elitist. They are mostly upper class and middle class. I don't know if any of them are lower class at all. I do know that they're led by very wealthy people for the most part. They're very similar to the Tea Party, except not quite as insane with the gun thing and the costumes. All they do is they wear yellow, and there you go. That's kind of their symbol. They don't wear stupid outfits. But they're royalists, and they went to the king of Thailand to oust Shinawatra. And the king was pretty much like, dude, that's not my gig. That's not a democratic situation that you're opting for here. And he didn't do it, because props to the king, he didn't abuse his power like I do think Thaksin Shinawatra did. But the article also claimed that Thaksin Shinawatra was super corrupt and abused his power, but the reality of it being that he was elected in the least corrupt election that the country had ever seen. That's not to say that he was free from corruption. He wasn't. He was a corrupt politician, like pretty much every politician in Thailand, and I would go as far as to say most of the world, if not all of the world. He was a corrupt politician, but he was less corrupt than I would say most of the politicians in Thailand's history from the statistics that I've seen. Now, the Red Shirts are populist. They are all for the lower class. They are all for egalitarianism and that sort of thing. And that's great. I like that. I'm a communist. I agree with that sort of thing. I approve of the lower class, coming up. Whereas the Yellow Shirts, once again, they are elitist. They are anti-populist. And I saw someone saying that they don't even think that the lower class should have a vote at all. like what America had in its beginnings, where you had to own land to vote, and of course rich white male landowners, but we're not getting into that. Basically what I'm saying is, you can't expect the police to fight against protesters when the protesters are in favor of a more oppressive government, where the police would probably be given power to beat the shit out of people. They're in favor of autocracy. They are nationalistic and disapprove of the lower class and the empowerment of the people. They believe in a very strong triangular hierarchy. And of course, that's going to be approved of by the government. That's how all governments run, is through a pyramid hierarchy. Oh god, I just sounded like an Illuminati conspiracy theorist. Fuck. What I'm saying, though, is that all governments are structured to have very small amounts of people, usually one at the top, and that kind of goes down at a slope where the lower on the rung you go, the more people there are. That's all I'm saying there. But the thing is, people are not doing their research on this shit. Basically, I finally saw news coverage of my favorite researchable current event, and it was totally bastardized and wrong, and obviously propaganda given by the yellow shirts. I understand why propaganda like that would exist. That makes sense. But it is just that, it's propaganda. I don't know how viral this is gonna go. Hopefully it doesn't. Don't believe it, because it's bullshit. Dylan, I'll see you tomorrow, and I better upload this fast.